Hello everybody, thank you very much for appreciating my last video on Sky News Reporter and his hit job on George Galloway. Now I just want to qualify that I'm a journalist and I have been a journalist for over 25 years and I have absolutely no association with any political party. I'm not even a member of any political party, have never been. So the reason why I needed to highlight that is because I have been moved by what is happening in Gaza, humanitarian crisis. I mean, I've never seen such crisis in my life. I've never seen, even though I've been a reporter and I have traveled around the world, and yet I have never seen to the proportion, the magnitude that we are witnessing right now. So that was the context of why I made that video. Now, since we are talking about George Galloway, this video is again about George Galloway. I mean, you can't ignore that man. The guy is dominating the news agenda across the country for all the right reasons. And this time, yesterday we talked about Sky News. Today, I'm going to talk about the BBC. So in this video that I will play for you, and I'm sure some of you may have already watched it, he is encountering a question from BBC reporter. Just like Sky News reporter Sam Coates, this BBC reporter wanted to trap him by asking him a question on Hamas and Israel. So this BBC reporter asked him whether he wants, whether George Galloway thinks that Hamas should be allowed to run Gaza. As you know, this has been a bone of contention both for the UK and the US, that they are not very happy. They are not at all happy that Hamas has been overwhelmingly elected by the population in Gaza. Now, instead of being defensive by this question, what George Galloway says is that should BBC be dictating who should run Gaza, or should UK be dictating who should run Gaza? Now let me play that video. You can watch this video and then I'll come back to this topic again, because the essence of what George Galloway said means that would UK be comfortable if we were to be dictated by outsiders like, let's say, India or China or any other countries, who are not comfortable with Sunak running the government or Keir Starmer running the government? Would we be comfortable if they put that condition on us and said, we cannot deal with this country, as long as, this party is running the government? That who we elect is our discretion. Likewise, who should run Gaza should be left to people of Gaza. That's exactly what he was saying. So watch the video.
Do you think Hamas should be allowed to run Gaza in the future, despite the atrocities of October 7? And on Ukraine,
perhaps they should. Perhaps they should let the BBC pick the government of Gaza.
Do you think the UK is right to be supporting Ukraine against Russia and its illegal invasion?
Well, these are two very big questions that would take me some time to deal with and do justice to, but it's an intriguing question, dripping with imperial condescension. Do I think that Hamas should be allowed to govern Gaza? Should we ask Britain to decide who runs Gaza, or the BBC, perhaps? The people of Palestine must pick their own governments. I would not myself have voted for Hamas. I'm an Arafat man and have been since the 1970s. But the Palestinian people picked Hamas, and as I said in some quite substantial speeches here back in 2008, when the siege began, no good can come of former countries, particularly former colonizing countries, trying to pick the leaders of other people's lands. Ukraine is a very long story indeed, not fit for an outdoor press conference, but I absolutely oppose the ironclad consensus for war.
Brilliant. This guy is a genius. And that's exactly how you need to counter, these pro-Israeli or pro-Zionist, reporters. I don't call them independent reporters, because independent reporters wouldn't ask these kind of questions. I have been a part of the BBC for 12 years, so I exactly understand their psyche. I exactly understand how they operate. In 2005, I mean, Israeli incursion or attack or brutalities in Gaza is nothing new. If you remember in 2005, they did exactly the same, although at a slightly lesser effect that they entered Gaza and they committed widespread brutalities. Now, I was working for BBC World TV. I was on an attachment for about 3 months. We were not allowed to run the visuals of Palestinian children being killed or injured. I mean, there was a diktat, you know, from the people higher up that you can't do that. So I totally understand where they're coming from. Whether encountering the question from Sam Coates on the night of his victory, or facing the question from BBC Reporter, George Galloway. I mean, this is exactly what makes George Galloway a breath of fresh air in British politics. The guy doesn't believe in following status quo. The guy doesn't believe in being politically correct. And the current establishment, which is so used to of doing things their way, you know, doesn't like that kind of attitude. So I think, you know, the country desperately needed a person like George Galloway. And I fully agree with him when he makes an appeal to people like Jeremy Corbyn and other like-minded people to come and join his campaign or front. And I think he has also said that, you know, if Jeremy Corbyn wants to lead the coalition, he's happy to be led by him. And I think if I were an advisor of Jeremy Corbyn, I would advise him to accept this offer, because the country needs, you know, many Jeremy Corbyns, many George Galloways. I mean, this country has suffered a lot in the last 10-15 years. And I think we need these people to come and bail the country out of the current misery. I'm not even going to talk about the impact of Brexit and how they lied, you know, how they misled the people. And the impact is for everybody to see. I mean, I have lived here for last 21 years. Sorry, 23. I have lived here for 23 years. And I have seen the decline, the rapid decline that the country has faced. So, doesn't matter which party you belong to. I think the two mainstream parties have inflicted unimaginable pain on this country. I mean, in the olden days, you would think that if you are unhappy with Conservative Party, you can vote Labour. But now, there isn't much difference between the two parties. So there has to be a third front, you know, consisting of people, like-minded people, who care about the social fabric of this country, who care about the people living in this country, and they need to come and take charge of the governance. So that's what I wanted to talk about it today. Thank you very much for appreciating my video, and I look forward to receiving your feedback once again. Thank you very much. God bless you all.